My name is Nijara Mustafic and I am from Croatia. I am 40 years old and I am owner of a vintage shop, Mango Sticky Rice.
All right, so today we're going to be interviewing a Croatian store owner here. She has her own clothing shop. I'm going to ask her the three questions I've been asking people as I've been traveling different countries. I know I haven't really done this in a while. The last person was Nico in Norway, but we're going to try to continue it here in Croatia. So we're going to get started. For someone coming to Croatia, what is a piece of advice that you give them?
Try opportunity to try our amazing food. Definitely visit our national parks and use opportunity to go at some amazing islands that we have at the Croatian coast.
Okay. Do you have any recommendations, food or islands?
We have a really, really good traditional food like punjene paprike or sarma. And the best place maybe in town Zagreb is Gostionica Purger, which is situated in Petrinska Street. And regarding islands, it depends what are you into. But I have a little daughter, and with a husband, we are going to island Vis this summer.
Okay, well maybe I'll have to come back then.
Croatia is beautiful during the whole year, but during the August and July can be quite hectic and can be quite packed at the coast. But thanks God we have so many islands, so you can always find your paradise.
Over your lifetime, what is one piece of advice that you give somebody?
Be more optimistic regarding politics situation in Europe at the moment, and there are so many advantages that we enjoy here in Europe. And we should be humble, and we should enjoy, we should be free, we should dare. What is the most important thing? We should cherish and love each other.
You run a store here, and talking to you before, you're in connection with a lot of designers here, so you're, I guess I would say, pretty ingrained into the fashion world here in Croatia. Can you tell me a little bit about your story? How you got into fashion and why you chose fashion as a profession?
I used to work in the office. I used to work in airline industry, which was very fun when I was 25. My first job was I used to work as a cabin attendant for a national carrier.
Air Croatia?
Croatia Airlines. And that was really cool. After that, I used to work in a sales department and for one big tour operator here in Croatia. And my last job was for Croatian Tourist Board, where I used to work in study trip department. We were organizing study trips for bloggers, journalists, and agents. There were like lots of disadvantages and advantages regarding this office work, but in one moment of my life, they didn't prolong my contract. And I was without a job for more than 9 months, and I decided to open this shop to make business from my hobby, because I was always like very keen in vintage clothes. I discovered that when I was 20 and something in London, in UK. I used to work there as an au pair, and the moment was really right because generally in Croatia people buy things in Zara and Mango, in this high street brand. In the last 2, 3, 4 years, they also start buying vintage clothes, second-hand clothes. They are thinking more in a conscious and a sustainable kind of way. I decided that here in the shop I will offer things from 40s till the end of 90s. And it is homage to Yugoslavian textile industry, so you can find lots of names like Mirjana Marić, Keti Balog, Žuži Jelinek, designers that used to make beautiful, stunning clothes back then. Lots of our textile industry was destroyed in the end of 80s, in the beginning of 90s, but there are lots of this beautiful clothes still left. So with this project, I wanted to present these clothes to people in Zagreb and also to people that are visiting, to tourists.
So like, how did you make your hobby your job, that transition?
During this year when I was without a job, so I did quite a lot of research and volunteering, and also I did one business school where I developed idea. I had lots of these clothes, so I started with that. And also in the last couple of years here in Croatia, you have opportunity to get 7,000 euro from the state to become entrepreneur. You don't need to return this money, but you need to justify this money. So I made a business plan. I found a place. I had quite a lot of clothes for the start. Preparations were take about 4 months. In 2019, we opened the door of the shop.
I see. This is kind of falling into place.
Instagram helped us, I think, a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, having a little independent shop can be a big advantage, and it's very creative. But then again, we had quite a lot of difficulties also. You need to remember that Corona was in the whole world for it is also now, but it was very intense. And also apart from Corona, we had an earthquake in Zagreb, and from the 1st of January we adopted euro, and inflation is really high at the moment.
Oh, really?
When we started with the business, was like really easy for us to find beautiful vintage pieces, but because vintage scene exploded in the last couple of years, nowadays it is quite hard to find also solid pieces for the normal price. And usually here in the shop we have prices like between 10 and 100 euros, because people who have lots of style doesn't mean that they have a lots of money as well.
Yeah.
And we want to keep every customer that comes here and find something suitable and interesting for themselves.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to say?
Nice to meet you, and I wish you luck with your project. And it is pity that we don't have opportunity maybe to do a tour together, but keep in contact. I hope in 1 year time you are going to be in the place where you want to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.